went ahead and put all that stuff back on. I think that looks straight. Let's hope. We did these a little different. They had big square holes with plugs and screws, so what we did is we drilled a smaller hole, and I had a couple of those plastic push pins or Christmas trees you stick in, but I found it always wanted to pull up. So I found these guys. It's not a real screw. What it is you push the first piece in and it's hollow, and when you push the screw in, it expands, but I notice it keeps it real nice and tight and it doesn't move anymore. And the problem, the way the one from the factory was, he had his tailgate repainted a couple times because right here would vibrate and eat the paint. And I mean, this might do that a little bit too, you know, buffeting in the wind. But look, if they sit nice and tight and you can't move them, generally that's awesome. And these, when you put the screw in, it went in, I'd say 3/4 of the way, in that last, say, 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, I had to actually put a screwdriver in the screw and, you know, give it a little twist and a little pop, and it tightened right up. And it does seem to fit not bad, you know, for aftermarket. Yeah, they don't make them 100%, but the back side, I don't know if you can see it up here, but basically under here, it's just a double-sided tape. So you peel that off, stick it on the tailgate, and then put these in. But anyway, so I think that'll be all right. So this is a typical 10:30 at night for me. So that's the base coat. Basically did exactly what we did on the box and everything else. I find with this stuff, the matrix, if you do a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a tack coat, but I kind of spray a little bit on, like just to make it not sticky, but like a fog, I guess. And you'll notice that like settle right away. Gosh, I think that hood's gonna turn out. That looks really good. Silky smooth stuff. The bumper I thought would be difficult, and it actually lent itself really nice to the paint. When I shot the hood, I got a little bit of dust right here. So before I clear it, we'll have to grab a tack cloth and wipe that off. That's the trick, is to catch the light and kind of look at what you can see. And this stuff dries fairly uniform. There's a little bit of a light tiger stripe in the tailgate, I noticed, but I mean, it's pretty minor. And I noticed since it's cured, it almost went away, so that's good. You can almost, if you catch it the right way, you can pick up all the, I think we had 400 grit, which is what they recommend. If I was doing a show car, I might take this to 600 grit. And I mean, most of this truck, you know, it was pretty good. It's not supposed to be shiny. This is just the base coat. So anyway, just thought I'd do a quick video. And probably start clear coating it here in a few minutes. It's a fun one to do. Basically, I got a couple step stools, so the first thing I do is the roof up there, right to the sunroof. And then I move my stools over, and I kind of come over here and go from the front to the back of the sunroof. And I got that set up in the box, so I can basically jump up and paint the roof. So I just continue from where it was wet and come back and wrap it down to the back window. And I shoot that piece across the bottom. And I come down the one pillar and, you know, to kind of get an angle and get it in there, so that the pearl and the metallics blend okay in the corner. And basically then I shoot from here. I think this actually, yeah, I came across the first time I stopped here because you don't want build up on the edge. So I came across, I stopped right here. Then the next coat, you do a bit of an overlap, you come across to about here, and then the fender, basically I went 3/4 of the way, and then the top you got to play with. It's a funny shape, but anyway, the second coat, I came down the door. Well, I did all the door pillars first. I bring them down just a little bit, so when you do the door, there's something wet for it to blend into. The metallic is important, but the pearl in this metallic is important too. This stuff is like looks like gasoline rainbow in a puddle when you're mixing it in the can. So the second coat, I started in the same place obviously, but instead of coming up and stopping here, yeah, we came up and we stopped here on this door, and then of course went around and then started, you know, you kind of feather from the edge like a sweep and come back, and then you start to paint so it catches the wet. And then I came right up into where it, you know, got about 4 inches right middle of this, and you know, and then I catch the top of this, the top, and just keep going back and forth until we get it. Then I do the same thing on the other side. Then I come back to this side, because while this is still a little bit wet, you don't want to get a blur up in here, like a blurry spot, and that's what happens when it's starting to dry and then you shoot more material on. I mean, this is the base coat, so it doesn't matter as much, but because of the metallic and the pearl, you got to kind of do a good job anyway. Now with the clear coat, you got to be a little more careful. So when I switch back to this side while this is still wet, you know, I can come around this corner, basically stop right at that little bumperette, do the other corner while it's still wet, same thing, and then I come in with my one arm sitting offside because we're close to the filter bank. See, this is where all the paint goes. These are brand new, I just changed them today. And yeah, so all your paint ends up in these. And it's funny because this is half a box worth of filters. It looks like a dishwasher box, I guess you could say. You can pick up the box, throw it over your shoulder with one hand and walk away. And this is half a box worth of filters, but when I took the old ones out and put them in the box, man, I'll tell you, they say that they can hold like a pound or 2 each. They're not kidding, because I had half a box full to throw in the garbage, and man, they were heavy. But anyway, so that's basically what I did with that. And once I did all that, then I finished the hood, and basically what I did is I got up on a stool so I could reach the middle up here. I mean, I'm 5'7", so I'm not real tall, but you know, these trucks are tall now anyways. But basically I caught the middle of the hood and slowly worked my way back to here. So we painted it to about here, say, yeah, about 1/3 from the edge this way, and I just came this way. Now I didn't come right to the edge, I basically just brought it past that hump in one more stroke. Then I went to the other side and did the same thing and brought it out. Then I came back to this side, finished this out. Then I came right down this side, and then I flipped the gun the other way, and I ran about halfway up the hood this way. And then of course you do the same thing here, work your way down, you come and join it. But on the second coat, I went up there and I had to do the same thing because of reach, but then I cranked the gun up about 2 pounds, and while it's still wet you can kind of go like run the gun this way like the other way. And the reason why is because you don't want to have like well, tiger stripes is what they call them in the paint, so you got to run it the other way. So then on the last coat I went pretty heavy on this edge and just up over this corner, and then basically instead of going this way, I reached way back to there, and I just kept going side to side like this and worked my way up, did the center section, and then did this side and finished it off with this edge. And even though some of this lands on here, it seems to be pretty good. And the thing is, you want the top of these curves really nice, and the hood's got to be nice. The most important part of a vehicle, especially cars. The old 60s and 70s cars had such a big hood. if the hood was nice, people would almost forgive, you know, any flaws on the car. So, but anyway, that's where we're at with this cursed Ram. I can't wait to get it out of here. I'm tired of looking at it, but it's going to be a really nice truck. It's going to last a long time. Anyway, that's the video. Cheers.